I actually grew up in Des Moines, and I went to the high school that is closest to Des Moines University, and I didn't really know what it was. But I knew it had something to do with bones, or I thought it did because it said osteopathic, and I thought, they do something with bones in there. Similar to lots of other people's story, I've bounced around a lot from athletic training, maybe sports medicine, orthopedics, but then eventually once I found DMU, started looking into what podiatry was, it made sense for me to be able to kind of encompass all those things. It helped that it was the #1 school for podiatry in the country. At the time, you don't know what to expect. It doesn't take long until you get on your 4th year externships, and then you can compare yourself to the non-DMU students and realize how well prepared you actually are. We've kind of come full circle. I think it's either 4 or 5 years I've been taking DMU students, podiatry students with me 1 month, one student, 1 month at a time.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, Dr. Dikis, how are you?
Oh, doing well.
And they come, they get involved in clinic, they come with me to the OR. You know, I'm always impressed because the DMU students are top notch.
Can you remind me how you hurt this again?
So my wife Ashley is actually a podiatrist that works at Des Moines University, and we met in school in the cadaver lab, and must have been love at first sight in the cadaver labs. I started to think about the available medical education that was available nationally and how it wasn't quite cutting it. It was kind of boring, and I thought there was a better way that we could do medical education. So my wife and I decided to start an Instagram account and subsequently a podcast where we do what we think is entertaining medical education for a younger generation, meeting them where they spend time, which is online.
All right, welcome back to Paw Patrol with your host, Dr. Jeff Dikis. Tonight I'm joined by Dr.
If you can start to mix together education and entertainment, you're going to educate them, but they're not going to fully realize it because they're there because they want to spend their time there.
All right, welcome everybody to the live Paw Patrol podcast coming to you from Las Vegas 2026.
It's kind of weird to become a little bit famous, I guess, in a very small niche world famous. But I'm pretty proud of the podcast. If I can teach one student on one day in my clinic or treat one patient in one day, that's great. But if I can educate a whole generation of doctors that go out and then help exponentially more people, I view that as a great opportunity. So for prospective students, I would tell them do their research like you should with any decision that you're gonna make. Luckily, in my opinion, DMU rises to the top. Even if you're not biased like I am with my wife working there, if you do your research about the statistics, the board's pass rates, the residency placement rates, the statistics speak for themselves. I would make sure that they know that it gets easier. When you start school, it is very hard. And sometimes it feels like there's not a light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep going, it gets a little bit easier, a little bit easier. You start to niche down into things that you're an expert in and the things that you know, and it gets more fun and it gets easier as you progress.